Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm the Gen Z Accountant, and today in this video we will be reflecting on me being on a budget for a complete year. Yes, a complete year. It was a little bit more than a year, but I know for sure, like 100%, I can say a year. So we're going to be reflecting on it, and I'm going to let y'all know the lessons I've learned, the stuff I've experienced, so that you can realize that you too can be on a budget and be successful and experience some great things. So let's get right into the video. Before I start the video, I'm just going to get like a quick 2-minute rundown on why I even started a budget in my life, because then maybe you may relate to it and it may give you a little push. But the reason I honestly started budgeting is because I was hit with a financial hardship where like my money was getting real low. Like she was getting low. It's not funny, but it was getting low because I was just like spending whenever. Like I would pay my bills on time and everything like that, but like whatever money I had left over, it was just like a free for all. I could just buy whatever I wanted to buy. And it made me realize, like, look, I had to sit down. Literally, I had a nice little sit down with myself, and I was like, look, we gotta do something because you still gotta pay your bills, and you're just out here just buying whatever. And I wasn't buying nothing crazy, but just the little stuff be adding up. And yeah, so I had to just sit down, figure out how much my bills were, figure out how much I need to make, and set it up all nice. So that's what really made me get into a budget. And I'm a business owner too, so my income isn't really like 100% like this what I'm gonna get each month. So I had to really figure out like how I'm gonna make this much money to pay my bills. So now let's get back into what I've learned from being on a budget for a complete year. So the first thing I said that I was less stressed because I felt like I had more control of my money versus just spending not knowing how much I'd have at the end of the month. So by that I just feel like even though I was less stressed as far as like I know my bills are going to get paid because everything's planned out. So that was like one less thought I had to think of. Bills are like the main like thing of being an adult, honestly, is bills. So, well, the main obligation is your bills. So, with that being, always paid on time and everything, I felt like I was less stressed and I could focus more on what I was doing as far as like developing my personal self and developing my making more money, developing on how I make more money, developing my brand, social media, stuff like that. So I definitely feel like I was less stressed when I had a budget versus just hoping and crossing my fingers that I was going to have enough money for the next month to pay my bills. So yeah, definitely less stress. The second thing is I had moments where I deviated from my budget. It was more frequent in the beginning. So just to be completely honest and real with y'all, in the beginning when you're trying to change yourself, it's going to be times where you're going to revert back because it's like you're trying to break a habit. I had a habit of just spending whenever. Now I had to break that habit and build up another one to not just spend whenever and actually have some type of self-control. So in the beginning, I did have times where I would, buy a bit more than I should have, a little bit. But, over time, as time progressed, I had to continue. I had to start to tell myself, like, look, we're on this for a reason. You're going to get the consequence if you don't do what you're supposed to do. So as time progressed, I was less likely to deviate from my budget. And now being a year today, it is harder for me to get away from my budget. Not saying I'm perfect. Even though I'm an accountant, I still have wants and desires. So, I still be tempted to want to spend when I shouldn't. But it is a bit harder, I would say. Like, I'm able to tell myself no in a healthy way, though. Like, I don't want to become a person where, like, I'm like, no, I can't get that. No, I can't get that. Like, no. If it's accounted for and it's not impulsive, then yeah, I can get it, So yeah, and maybe down the line once I make, a lot more money, I'll have, let myself have some impulsive moments, but not too much. The third lesson I've learned while being on the budget for a year is I began to appreciate the small things a bit more. Like, because I'm on a budget and I know that I can't just be buying anything, what I do buy, I'm like, okay, let me actually take this in and appreciate it and, savor it. Some food or whatever, food or clothing, whatever it is. I do feel like I appreciate the smaller things more. I've always been a thankful person, a grateful person, but being on a budget really show you that little thing, whatever. If I bought myself some cookies or something that day, okay, I like it. I'm gonna enjoy it a bit more. So yeah. The fourth thing is I feel like I built confidence and I feel more prepared that I'll be able to manage $1 million one day. Of course, I want to eventually one day in my lifetime reach a lot of money. And by being on a budget for a year at a smaller level and building up the resilience and building up the discipline and self-control, I'm very confident. Like if $1 million hit my bank account tomorrow, I wouldn't just blow it on anything and random stuff. Like I feel like I'll be able to, break it down, figure out what I can spend, what I shouldn't spend, and still enjoy it at the same time. I'm not gonna feel overwhelmed that like, oh, I got all this money, I don't know what to do. Like no, I feel like when the time come, when I make a lot of money, I'm gonna be able to keep it and enjoy it and just make good financial habits. So that's why it's important to do this at a lower level. Like when you learn the muscle memory of different habits you should and shouldn't have, when you don't have a lot to risk or a lot to lose, once you get a lot more money where you have a lot more to lose, I feel like it just makes it better. It's kind of like if you work out versus going the easy route and maybe like doing like cosmetic surgery or something like that. When you work out and it took you months to get to the look you want to have, it took a lot of discipline along the way too. It took a lot of self-control of not eating. So those different attributes and traits, they carry over, as life goes on in different areas of your life. So I feel like with me being on a budget for a year, I will continue to have those different traits about myself of having self-control and discipline when it comes to my finances and in life in general, which I think is actually oh yeah. This is my second, which goes into my fifth lesson I've learned. The traits I've gained by being on a budget, being more self-control and being able to tell myself no, is also going into my personal life. So going back to my little example I gave, same thing with working out, I feel like the same way with budgeting, the traits are just going to continue to snowball and really, I could see like growth in like my personal self too. So a budget is not all bad. There's some good in it too. So yeah, let's go into my sixth reason. Oh, is that I realized that you're able to still enjoy life and be on a budget. Like a budget doesn't mean you are strapped up tight. You can't move. You can't breathe on a budget. Like you can't spend a penny extra. No, like consider some leisure in your budget. Like I consider leisure in my budget. Like I told myself like, okay, I'm gonna be on a budget, but I'm not about to be like cooped up in a box. Like I still need to enjoy life at the same time, just at a smaller scale than what I was before. But yeah, like a budget isn't all like strict and stuff. Like incorporate it into your budget if you can. If you really, really like, look, I don't got nothing to spare, then of course you can't spare nothing. But if you're able to spare something, put that into your budget so you can still enjoy life and still make good financial habits. That's something I'm definitely gonna go take into once I make a lot of money. Is I'm definitely gonna have my budget still, even when I got surplus of money. But I'm gonna, incorporate leisure and like, just have money where I can just do whatever and have fun with. Even though I'm still gonna be responsible, but I'm still trying to have fun. Like I ain't about to work all hard for. I mean, of course I care to pass on legacy and money and stuff like that, but I need to enjoy my hard work too. So yeah, and then the seventh lesson I learned / experience I've had while being on the budget is that I was able to pay my bills on time for an entire year. Like, clap it up. Now, even before this budget time frame, I still pay my bills on time. I'm just, known for paying my bills on time. But when times got tough, not tough, because I don't want to make it seem like I was just like down super, super duper bad, but times got a little harder. So I'm just proud that I was able to, continue to pay my bills on time and just be less stressed and just be stress free off the bills. Like as an adult, bills are your biggest obligation. Like your biggest, obviously outside of kids, but I don't have a kid. So at the time of filming this video, bills are my biggest obligation, and then myself too. But yeah, so I was able to pay my bills on time every month, literally every single month. I pay my bills on time while being on the budget, while still enjoying life. Take that in. All three, not one or the other, all of them, I was able to experience by being on a budget. I'm trying to tell y'all, a budget is not bad. It's not bad. It's not restricted. It is restricted, but it's a healthy restriction. So yeah, that's just another great thing that I experienced while being on a budget for a complete year. The eighth thing I experienced while being on a budget for a complete year is I had to get over telling people no and stop feeling obligated to buy people gifts. Listen, I am a retired people pleaser. sometimes she trickle in a little bit. Sometimes, you know, I be having to control it. So I used to feel obligated, like when a birthday came around, Mother's Day, Christmas, Valentine's Day, um, any holiday. I felt like I had to get somebody something, and if I didn't, I felt bad. Like I wanted to go high. Like I was kind of like even tiptoeing to even go tell them that I can't get you nothing this year. But now, look, I had to tell people like on certain holidays that you would think like, oh, you should definitely get somebody something. Like for Mother's Day, I had to tell my parents, my mom, my grandmother, my sister, people who have kids around me that I can't get you nothing for Mother's Day this year. And I didn't feel bad either. Like I didn't feel like, oh yeah, I'm this evil person, and yeah, I'm not getting you nothing. I ain't getting no. Like respectfully, I just couldn't get you nothing because I had to make sure my bills was paid. After the next day after Mother's Day, when all my money spent, my bills still say they do. Who am I look at now? So it's just like it's some things that I just had to like look. I can't get you nothing, but I will say though, throughout the year though, I am a very like nice person and I'm very helpful. So I help people throughout the year with little stuff. So it's not like I'm just like this evil little Grinch walking around. I'll just help you in other ways and I give you gifts in other ways, just not monetarily. So yeah. Um so yeah, I just had to realize like, look, it's gonna have to be a no today, and if that make you feel away, it didn't make me feel away. Thankfully I have like, you know, very supportive people around me. But if it did make you feel away, I'm not even gonna say sorry because it's just like that's just how you gotta be. Like when you on the mission to reach a certain goal, you're gonna have to say no to some things. And if somebody feel the way that you're saying no and it's something that's gonna benefit you, then it's just like, oh well, sorry. Not sorry. I'm not saying sorry. That's a sarcastic sorry. So yeah. That's one thing I will say. And now I will include in here, I made my mother a collage, a virtual collage. Nice little pictures and stuff, and I sent it to her, so I did a little something. It just wasn't monetarily. So yeah. Yeah, and then another little side note, America just make you feel so pressured to buy stuff. Like, sheesh, relax. Like, I gotta get something every month. Every month is a new holiday. Every 2 months is a new holiday. One thing I want to add is that you can't be the person that's all mad when someone don't get you something though. Like, I'm the type of person where like, if I know I can't get you nothing, I don't expect you to get me nothing at all either. And I'm not gonna feel no way about it. Like that's your life. That's your prerogative. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Even if I do have the money to spend, I still don't feel bad if someone don't get me nothing. Depends who you are though. Depends who you are. But for the most part though, like I don't really get mad if somebody don't give me nothing. It's like, listen, I'm not about to pay your bills. And if you need that money to go pay your bills or do whatever you need to do, then do that. Because don't look at me to pay your bills. So, yeah, you can't get mad if someone don't get you stuff. Especially if you're the type of person where you're not getting nobody nothing either. So, yeah. That's all I would say. And I always tell people too, like, pay your bills first. Like, even when people will come to me and be like, I want to get you something, but, you know, I got to do this, do that. Pay your bills. Don't worry about me. Listen, my bills are paid. Life is continuing to progress. I'm excelling in life. Like, whatever you want to get me, it ain't going to make or break me. So, yeah, just pay your bills. So, yeah, that's one thing I learned is that you have to learn how to say no and stop trying to people please and all that. The last and final thing I've experienced, and I want to share with you all, on those of you who's thinking about starting a budget, is that it is doable. Like, literally, you're able to do it. It may be a little rocky, a little rough in the beginning, but you just got to continue to do it even when you failed at it. That's like failing forward. That's what, like, I remember this book I started to read. I ain't finished it. But there's a book called Failing Forward because I feel like it was repetitive. But a book called Failing Forward where, like, yeah, you did fail, but, like, you still got to keep going at the same time. Like, it's doable. You can do it. If I can do it, you definitely could do it. Yes, I am an accountant, but we don't have no budget 101 class in accounting. Like, I'm pretty sure if you could probably ask a random accountant how their budgeting skills are, and it's a possibility that it could be good or they could be bad. So, like, you can do it and you can stick to it. So, that's all I have for this video. I just want to come on here and just tell y'all my experience of after being on a budget for a complete year, like literally a year of self-control. That's one thing of self-control I can like attest to. Like, I was on a budget and I was successful at it, and it feels good. Like, it feels great. So yeah, I hope you learned something new in this video. If you did, then Let me know down below in the comments. Let me know if my experiences will help you to continue with the budget. Another thing I want to add in, if you are someone who's struggling with your finances, financial management in your business or personal life, then check out my book, Loose Money Gets Lost, The Ultimate Guide to Financial Stability and Lasting Business Growth. I talk about my story, a little bit like about my story as a business owner, not having good financial management, and then I just give y'all the rundown on how to really have financial management in your business and in your life. I teach you how to make a budget too in here, so go ahead, check her out. Now available on Amazon, and I have it on ebook if you want that as well. Go ahead, check out Loose Money Gets Lost. Subscribe if you learn something new, and like this video. So yeah, I will see y'all in the next week's video. Peace.